I want to show you 6 different ways that you can play one simple progression, and that progression is A minor, G, F to E. This is a basic progression in the key of A minor. Parent key would be C major. So if you're thinking in parent key, this would just be a 6, 5, 4, and then the major 3 chord. Because if you know your theory, normally the 3 chord in a major key is minor. But when we're playing with the 6 chord or like the relative minor, a typical thing that happens is that your 5 chord of that minor is going to be a major chord. So you're going to get a lot of E majors in an A minor song. A lot of the time. Not all the time, but that's what we're going to do today. And this is just a basic progression that you hear in a lot of songs. Kind of a little walk down. And I want to help you wade through some of the possibilities that you can play over this. You can obviously just play your open chords, which sounds great for a lot of things, but then sometimes you'll want to expand out and know what else you can play across the neck. So that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to be using these 4-note triad shapes, and if you know, triad is just a 3-note chord, but oftentimes some of the most useful chords, shapes on guitar, the ones that I find myself using the most, will double one of the notes, such as in this A minor chord here, which is basically just the top of a bar chord, A minor bar chord, 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd and 1st, and we've got 2 of the root note, one on the 4th string, one on the 1st string. So we're just going to start with this one. We're just going to walk this down, then we're going to do it through the inversions, then I'm going to show you a way that you can play chords going up the neck through this descending chord pattern to give a kind of variation in the way it sounds. So we've got just a A minor chord here to a G chord. My shape only changes by 1 note as I move it. Here I've got my first finger barred on the 5th fret of the first 3 strings. Then when I go here, I got to add my 2nd finger to the 3rd string to give me that major 3rd instead of the minor 3rd that we have up here. And then I can just move this down for an F chord, and then I can move it down one more time for an E chord using the first 2 open strings. So here's way number 1 to play it, is just like this. That's a great way to do it, very basic. There's a lot of little notes that you can play around with in these chords. Make it a 7 by adding the 7th of the E chord. That's my first way of doing it. Next we're going to move up to the inversion. First inversion of an A minor chord. And hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I have the chord charts on the screen, and on the chord charts I've got different colors for each of the chords. The black is A minor, the blue is the G, the red is the F, and the orange is the E. So if I'm doing it from up here, I can do the same progression, just moving down from this A minor first inversion, 10th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret, 8th fret. And then when I move down, I've got this shape here, which is just my first finger is going to bar the first 3 strings, but then my second finger is going to play 1 fret ahead of the bar on the 2nd string. For G, I've got the 9th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 7th fret. And then I just move that down for my F chord. And again, I've got notes that I can embellish the chord with here. So I can add some interesting motion to my chords as I'm going down. two ways I can play it. Got this. Then I've got this. And if I invert it up one more time, I'm going to be up here, playing an A minor shape in second inversion, 14th fret, 14th fret, 13th fret, and 12th fret. That's my A minor chord in second inversion being when we have the fifth in the root, or fifth as the lowest note. So when I move that down to G, I'm going to be barring the 12th fret on the 4th, 3rd, 2nd strings, then I've got the 10th fret here. So 12, 12, 12, 10. And then I can just move that down for my other chords, just like before. And again, because I know where all the notes in the scale are around these chords, I can embellish them with those scale tones. So I've got three ways so far to play it, other than, of course, the open chords. So that'd be my, the one we're not talking about really, but this is the first one here. Root position. Then we got first inversion. And then I've got second inversion. And so I've got those are three different ways I could play over the same song. If it's just repeating that chord progression, I can pick and choose between them. And what I'm going to show you next is a way that I can play any of these chords. I'm going to do it where I'm going up the neck as the progression goes down. So I'm kind of creating a type of contrary motion here where the chord progression is moving down, but I'm going to be moving up, inverting each time. So here we go. We're going to try going from like an open A minor shape. I'm just going to play these four strings to stick with the triad shapes that we were doing, but it's the exact same shape as this one, just an octave down. But when I start here, then I can go up from this second inversion A minor to a root position G chord. So I've got second inversion A minor to root position G to a first inversion F to a second inversion E. So notice how this creates an interesting effect where my chord progression is descending, but my voicings are ascending, going up. Creates an interesting type of sound and contrary motion there. So then if I do that for the other two positions, so I go from here, root position A minor, then I'm going to go to a G in first inversion. So I've got A minor, G, then I've got second inversion F, excuse me. And then I'm going to jump up to root position E. So I've got A minor, root position, G in first inversion, F in second inversion, E in root position. So we've got one more, but I'm going to go back over the 5 that we've done so far. We've got root position just moving down. Then we've got first inversion moving down. Then we've got second inversion moving down. we've got the ascending pattern going from second inversion A minor to root position G, first inversion F, second inversion E, then the next one, root position A minor, first inversion G, second inversion F, to root position E, and finally our sixth way of doing this, we're going to go from first inversion A minor to second inversion G, to root position F up here, then to first inversion E. So the last one here. I can of course embellish on any of these. I could resolve to that A minor up there, root position. But the point of showing you this is just to demonstrate how many different ways there are to play a single chord progression. And you can get overwhelmed by all the possibilities, but that's why I focus on these 4-string shapes, because I think they're extremely useful. You can break it down into the 2 different 3-string shapes that each of them are made of. So I could take this chord and I could play the triad on the first 3 strings, or the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. There's 2 chords I can break that 4-note chord down in. Same with any of these shapes. So when you're playing a song that seems like, you know, repetitive, maybe it's the same thing the whole time, this is the progression of many songs, but one that comes to mind is Hit the Road Jack. Moves a little faster than this, but that's a Ray Charles song. You can go around the neck playing it in different ways. You don't even have to do the same thing, you know, a bunch of times in a row. Mix and match all these different ways of doing it and have lots of options. What you don't want to do usually is to always be changing what you're doing. If you're playing a song, especially with a singer, you want to lock in on a couple of cool ways of doing it. Vary your picking a little bit and your strumming so that it's interesting and you're changing things up, but these different inversions can give you different options of how to play. So that's just an idea of how you can be more creative in your chordal playing. You can also use these shapes as an outline for improvisation when you're soloing. And so there's a lot of possibility there, but I hope that this was helpful to hopefully show you some of the different ways you can move across the neck and how you can be creative as while you're playing rhythm guitar, and add some embellishment notes for a more interesting sound, or change the direction that you're moving so that you don't get bored and sound repetitive when you're playing over a progression like this.